feel like I'm still like at a 2 or 3 because we've only been together 3 weeks. We've only been together 3 weeks.
2 or 3?
You're an iceberg. Like, I've gotten to see.
That's pretty low.
Really?
I feel like I know him.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is, baby. For those who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of Married at First Sight. We're going to be talking to you guys for the rest about Amber and Matt. It was quite interesting as well, just to talk about the situation when they were on a dining table and just seeing, Matt and Amber kind of jostle back and forth about who knows who.
2 or 3?
You're an iceberg. Like, I've gotten to
That's
see.
pretty low.
So the question was raised about how well do you think you know Matt, and Amber was like, you know what, 2 out of 3. Now that 2 out of 3 probably was given because of the car situation, you know, and the emotions took over and said 2 out of 3.
Just a significant other to my family members.
First ever, huh?
Yeah, you're the first. I guess you're not excited?
I'm overjoyed. I'm ecstatic.
Now, it definitely wasn't, 2 or 3 out of 10. And it definitely wasn't a 2 or 3 out of 10 because she later on goes on to prove how much she knows about him. But the reason why she said it is because she was emotionally hurt. She was hurt by what he did. And look, human beings react like that. We react out of pain. So, I get it. So what happened was, obviously, then after she said that, I think the aunt said to her, oh, is it only 2 or 3? Like, da-da-da. She's like, no, I know you know more about Matt. You know what I'm saying? And then Amber responds and then tells you, yeah, I know his favourite colour, I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that. And it's like, okay, cool, so you do know him better than that. But the point she was making was, I've been hurt by the way you're behaving, and I feel like I don't know you at this moment. And that's the truth. At that moment, she felt that hurt, that she didn't know him anymore. So 2 or 3 was a good and given answer for her. Matt, on the other hand, who wasn't hurt, but actually had issued the hurt, and not realised he issued the hurt, was saying, well, I know a 5 or 6 out of 10, because you know what, she's always talking. The slight joke in there was actually a seriousness as well. Like, maybe she feels that she talks too much. And there's no room for expansion. Again, I'm not blaming her, I'm just saying that maybe that's something that's running through his mind. But he says obviously 5 or 6 out of 10. Amber was trying to prove that she knew Matt and give us these facts after saying she didn't think she knew him. And Matt just giving her all the facts about, I do know you. So that was an interesting contrast as well. And, you know, she mentioned about the fact that, you know, she was happy that he was blended into the family. And you know what, it was funny as well because, you know, towards the end you can see that even though she's like leaning like this and looking at him, her eyes are brightened, you know what I'm saying, she's body language kind of sharpened a little bit. Why? Because, you know, when he started talking about a particular thing, I can't remember what he was talking about, but the voiceover was saying about the fact that she felt like he was blended into the family. She felt happy because like it's like, oh, this guy's fitting into my situation, la 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 la. So it was tough, man, because I know how hard it can be, and I know how difficult it can be when it comes to relationships in this regard, because like both people are scared that other person will do something to them, and it's causing a little bit of tension and gaps between them as well. That's what fear does.
I called him 4 times and he didn't answer. I mean, that sounds crazy, but I care about my husband and I want to know that he's safe, and he has not texted me or called me back, and his phone now is going straight to voicemail.
You know, Matt not coming back is a huge thing. I think like Luke did the same thing on the anniversary, but with last season with Kate. But not coming back and not messaging, not calling, not replying to emails and calls and texts and messages is hella rude and hella dangerous too. I don't know where you're at. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to give you a call because you haven't come home at the time you said you were going to come home. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I know he probably did it because he wanted space, but let her know you want space. Don't just duck out the house and do what you usually do, which is normally run. Because you've got to go somewhere like basketball in another country or whatever. Don't do it. You can't do it in relationship format. You need to be able to communicate. And for me, that's a big issue with Matt. He needs to communicate. And he needs to be a bit more open in that regard as well about his situation, because he still hadn't really fully explained about his parents' divorce. But he explained it to one of Amber's friends at the beginning of the series. And I was like, how do you... You know, Amber wanted to ask about your situation in terms of your parents divorcing, but you told her friend first before you told her. Disrespectful. Like, it's emotional cheating. That's what I call it. Because, fam, when you do that, you put someone else first before your girlfriend. You don't even know her, you know your girlfriend's, your wife's friend like that.
You're adorbs. My pretty girl. You're such a pretty girl.
Man, all those compliments you're giving her.
I know. Give her high self-esteem.
I need some too, but yeah.
You got high self-esteem.
I have a very low self-esteem now that I'm married.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't get enough compliments like Cindy does.
Yeah, right. with Sandy. She's got to, warm up.
Again, it was Greg and Donna. It was quite interesting. I love the fact that she remembered his B-day, and they got him a little giant cookie as well. And it was interesting that, he was like, I'm very much happy about that, blah, blah, like, thank you for this, etc. But one of the things that was really interesting after that was when they were sitting on the couch. And, what was more interesting was the fact that, he mentioned again, you compliment the dog. I'm trying to get my compliments in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really expressing his love language. Like, what does he want? And I feel like Gianna has picked it up, but she doesn't want to do it. Because, again, it means lowering those emotional walls. It means getting into a space where you previously might have been in the sense of letting someone into your life and giving them the room to mess you up. Because that's what love really is. The love is about me opening my heart for you to enter the room, and you could potentially mess up everything in there. I'm trusting you not to steal anything in that room. I'm trusting you not to break anything in that room. I am trusting you to keep it clean in that room. I am trusting you not to try and move anybody else into there. I'm trusting you with my heart. And it's the most precious thing that I can trust you with. And so I think with Diana, it's like, you know what, she's not going to pay no attention, she's not going to pay no compliments, she'll pay the dog compliments. And that's telling, that she would pay the dog compliments but not him. Because what it is about what she feels that compliment will do. Now, they were talking on the couch, and they were discussing about the fact that, you know what, she mentioned, and I love this as well, please, guys, when you get in relationships, explain what's going through your mind. The Bible says that, come, let us dialogue, let us discuss. You know what I'm saying? At a time, David said, listen, I speak to my soul. Why? Because there's times when I need to console myself, I need to speak to myself. There are times when you need to speak to another individual, another human being, and actually express how you feel. And in this case, you're in a relationship, so express how you feel. And what was interesting was that when Diana began to express why she's not shooting off on the sexual note, I know that Greg appreciated that.
To having sex.
I mean, well, they were like situationships, so it wasn't like a relationship. It was like, this is all we're here for. My past, has made me who I am today. I stayed in situationships much longer than I should have. And me personally wanting to do something different and get different and better results from the past, that was something that I knew I needed to work on personally. So that's why I want to take it slow with my husband.
And so why did you...
Now I've got a reason and a why as to why you do what you do. And therefore I can be more patient. Is that not the case? Cool. I mentioned this as well, they got a great bond as well, already going and started, so, yeah. I mean, to be honest, it was just kind of just watching them at their own party. It was interesting in the sense of they both had their own say to their friends, but didn't actually interact too much with each other in terms of physically, which was so interesting because everyone else did, but they didn't, and it's like, I feel like, the reason why is, again, just being respectful, just trying to give each other room. And I feel like, obviously, Greg is just trying to be careful in terms of how he moves forward with Diana so that he doesn't, obviously, encroach on her turf and push her faster than she wants to be pushed. He's trying to be understanding, right? And I get that, and so I appreciate that. And I think, again, it's a learning moment for us. Like, even though you want your way, you've got to be able to slow down, so listen, let you do what you need to do. Work it best for you, do you know what I'm saying? So it was almost reminding me of Vashti and King Xerxes. The fact that, she had her own friends around, he had his own friends around, and they were only in different rooms. It felt a little bit like that. I was like, oh. But I didn't sense any tension or anything like they're not, on the same wavelength. I just sensed that obviously they wanted to have a discussion with their friends and on another level, and that's the way they operate. Well, and it's happened because even Diana was mentioning to the girls about the bathroom situation where she says, I've got my own bathroom, he's got his own bathroom, and I'm happy with that. I'm like, okay, cool. She likes that, having her own space. And I think 10 years or so of of singleness, will create that atmosphere of, I want to have my own space. I want to be able to do what I need to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to have the air of independence. It is what it is.
Have a good afternoon.
What do you want, Elizabeth?
I want you to be happy with me. I just want you
That's why I wanted to sit down and talk to you, because I wanted to talk about things that would
It's always to sit down and talk. It's always talk. Get over yourself. Do you not have anything else better to do but to sit here and break down our relationship? Thought we were gonna have a really great day, but you done turned it into a...
Just coming on to the two that are explosive, I mentioned this about James and Elizabeth, that the way they started, there's going to be an explosion, baby. And there's going to be an explosion. And there has been an explosion, blood. I said from earlier, I said, listen, I love the fact that they are intimate, they're energized, they are about that sexual life, but it is going to create a problem. They have jumped in far too deep too quickly, and the true colours, I can see your true colours shining through. I can see your true colours, that's why I love you, don't be afraid. So listen, the true colours are really showing through, and it's now beginning to show the cracks in the actual wall. Why? Because sex makes things speed up that you can't see. It's like going to a house, yeah, and then quickly zooming through the house and not checking each crevice and each corner properly to see, hey, is there any cracks? Is there any damp? Is there any moss? And you're not checking it because you're just doing, oh, it looks buff from the outside, and you go inside the house, quick, pew, 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 pew. All right, I've checked it, fine. But you haven't done your actual thorough checks. And that's not with relationships, it's the exact same way. You are building your house, and when you start to realise the foundations are not great, you start to realise this house might not be the one I want. So yeah, we'll break it down. Whew, sorry. It's interesting as well, you know, because James mentioned about the concerns about meeting Elizabeth's father-in-law once again, because the father-in-law, you know, has got a bit of energy that I'm not gonna lie to you, even me, because I'm like, I need his ass to come down a little. He's been doing too much, and so that's I feel like the dad is. Obviously, he loves his daughter, but you're overbearing, bro. Like, can we chill it down? Can we just chill? Just relax, okay? Don, you're doing a lot right now. And you see that he's, you know, even when they were discussing in the kitchen, he was like, you know, even a little, he's like, they couldn't even be free. Man was mentioning things that didn't need to be mentioned, bro. You know, and I think he tried to pick something off a leg or whatever, and he was like, hey, I'm still here. It's like, bro, relax, man. Let man be free, cuz. I was wrong to invite you again, cuz. It's not a pleasant experience for James, and I think that's one thing that Elizabeth needs to be aware of, that her dad is overbearing, and that when he's in a place, it makes Jamie feel uneasy, and it would make anybody feel uneasy if that parent is so much involved and so much trying to have control over proceedings. Of course. When the parents of James was obviously questioning Elizabeth about the job, she got very defensive very quickly, and I believe the reason why is because she don't know what she wants to do. Number one, she doesn't know what she wants to do. Number two, she's moving around a lot in terms of what she wants to do. Number three, I don't think she has a destination in mind, and so therefore she wants to be a free spirit, and that free spirit can go anywhere, anytime, whenever she wants. She just wants to have fun, almost like she said. And so unfortunately, you know, she doesn't have a job per se, but she has a job with her father. And I don't think that she really discussed it too tough, you know, her dad and her, because the way they obviously were speaking about it is like no one knew about the defined role that she played in the company, her dad's company, and actually plays into later on into the argument that they have. But nobody knew what her defined role was, and so interesting enough, yeah, she was open for, I guess she was going to be open for the parents questioning her, because, but what do you do? Like, what do you do? Do you know what I mean? Even James later on says, what do you do? I don't even fully know. I love the fact as well, I suppose this as well, that they covered for each other when it came to the kid situation. And, you know, Jamie backed her as well, said, look, hey, look, I don't even want kids either, like, she has to right to the
children conversation, but we're not ready for that right now.
I mean, you said 1.5 years or 2. I was thinking like more like 2 or 3.
Boo, I didn't want to overshoot that. I rounded down, but, you know, I felt like we had all eyes on us, so.
Dream team right here.
As a female, you just feel really pressured into getting married and having kids immediately. And we both don't want kids, but I don't want them to know that yet. So it just felt really good for Jamie to back me up.
So I know this is like jumping ahead.
And that lets me know how much, you know, them two are trying to be a bond and a unit, and the fact that they're trying to support one another, rather than obviously, you know, having different contrasting views. They have the same view. And so what's great about that is that if you've got the same view and the same vision, same goal, you can make it to where you need to make it to, do you know what I'm saying, as a couple. And you can do whatever you said you're going to do, because there's two of you trying to work at the same dream and vision. And that's helpful. Originally, James obviously left earlier on and then came back with some flowers, apologised. For me, it was obviously, yes, I believe that you should walk away. But it was like the argument wasn't necessary enough for him to walk away and actually get out of the house. But like I said, I understand. And to be honest, it's better that you walk away than actually do something stupid, right? Cool. So he's come back with flowers. He wants to have a you know, discussion, and actually an important topic he wants to discuss. Now the reason why he left in the first place obviously was because they were talking about, you know, his parents' divorce or whatever, and he got touchy about it, and that's why he left.
I left and I'm feeling pretty down right now. I miss her a lot, and there's no way I'm giving up on this marriage.
Well, that is...
But in this particular scene, when he comes back with the flowers and he wants to talk to her and they sit on the couch, I just felt like, you know what, fam, James knew exactly what he was doing. When he was hurt, because he was hurt by the original conversation, right? And I can't remember what was said, but he was hurt by that conversation. And then what he decided to do was come back and he's going to try and win this war. That's what he thought to himself. I'm going to come, I'm going to break you, I'm going to win this war. I'm going to make you apologize because it made me feel inadequate. Cool. So what had happened was... I
got a lot of different things. I don't want to just exist with you. Like, I want to get to know you. You make a lot of jokes, like, do you still want to be with me? Do you think I'm attractive? Are you just going to break up with me one day? Like, that doesn't make me feel good because I know there's also some truth to it. And it hurts.
So yeah, when he came to sit on the couch, I noticed a few things. It was interesting because, you know, the way that James was sitting, interestingly enough, you know, he had his arm out at first, yeah? And when the conversation got a bit more serious, his arm reflects back in, and he's like this again, and he's talking directly at Elizabeth. I
got a lot of different things. I don't want to just exist with you. Like, I want to get to know you. You make a lot of jokes, like, do you still want to be with me? Do you think I'm attractive? Are you just going to break up with me one day? Like, that doesn't make me feel good because I know there's also some truth to it. And it hurts. Like, I tell you how attracted I am. I tell you, like, I'm in this marriage. This is not like a joke to me. And it's like, if I had to come here...
That was interesting to watch because I was watching the behavior and I was like, this is, you know, doing this, it's conscious to make the other person feel unwell. Do you get me? So for him to do that, you know, extend the arm at first and then obviously withdraw it, it's like he was trying to say, I'm withdrawing from you in a sense. Like, you're causing me to withdraw, you're causing me to move mad, you're causing me to move away from you, you're causing all these issues. Like, I just want to sort things out. And I don't actually blame Elizabeth Too Tough. I blame both of them. I think both of them are palpable and at fault here.
I can't take it anymore. This cannot be my real life. I literally am feeling like about myself. I feel like I've been very beaten down when it comes to my emotions.
So yeah, so James, you know, went on a bit of an attack on the couch, you know, saying, you know, people ask me about your job, I don't know what to say to them, which is true probably. I don't know what to mention to them, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So he was obviously going off on one, but, you know, and Elizabeth I was like, whoa, what's coming, like, why is this coming sideways? All because I asked about your family. And I'll admit, the original first conversation they had, James flipped. It was not necessary. I asked about your family and why they divorced, and you're going on, I don't want to talk about that. Bruv, so, fam, I mean, she's not, you know what, she's your partner. You probably want to let her know what happened. Why? Because so you guys don't repeat the same mistakes. So you guys don't go down the same lane. It's a learning curve for her too. I don't think she was asking to be malicious. I don't think that ever comes across. But what James does when he comes back is malicious. You know, you go on and attack and attack her about certain things. And so rightly so, I see that Elizabeth obviously defends herself. One thing I obviously would say is that, you know what, fam, like, potentially obviously, yeah, she's going to work for her dad, but in what capacity?
On our wedding day, Elizabeth told me that she was a sales executive for her dad's company. But it's kind of tough right now because I'm finding out that's not really the case with Elizabeth. Is this a handout or is this actually like something you're trying to achieve?
It's something that I'm trying to achieve. I'm very goal-oriented when it comes to my career.
Is your dad doing you a favor?
Yeah, my dad's absolutely doing me a favor.
That doesn't bother you?
No, it does not bother me. Why wouldn't
I think that's the main thing, isn't it? What capacity? So I think, for me, I'm looking at it in that sense of that James has really orchestrated this beef. And he wanted to get a response from his wife as well, one that would suit his ego. But it's interesting as well, though, that Elizabeth actually said, you know what, fam, I'm just tired of you, the fact that you're giving me this Caucasian sex. I was like,
basic, like, Caucasian sex. And it's just...
I was like, blood, I'm not involved, baby. So that was something that was interesting because of the war of words, the war of attrition. They both said some bombs towards each other to hurt each other. I mean, the reason why I believe he came at Elizabeth really is because of the lack of power. When you feel like you're lacking power to change something, to do something, I feel like you try to take control those other aspects of your life. And I feel like that's what happened with the James and Elizabeth situation. He came back with a mission. He had an intent behind him to do harm to Elizabeth with words. In conclusion, that, you know, James and Elizabeth are at the tippy toe and they're on the edge, man. Like, they're gonna break. Like, I'm sorry, they're gonna break. And I always said, I said it from the beginning, didn't I? I said, James and Elizabeth, there's something insincere about both of them. That when they got told they were gonna get married, it felt like they were acting rather than actually trying to be in a relationship. So watch out for that as well, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and make sure, you know what, blood, are you mad, you leave? A gay little black book, you know what time it is, you know what time it is. Boom.